The RightWay Foundation is transforming foster youth futures through housing, mental health, employment, and community. With your support, more transition-age foster youth can heal, grow, and thrive.
Hello, folks. Welcome back to RightWay Podcast, where you know our theme is 10 minutes of healing the right way. We have an awesome guest in the building. She goes by the name of Gabriella. Gabriella is a new staff with the RightWay Foundation, but not new in her field. And you're going to hear her story. But we brought on Gabriella to really take our housing to the next level. As far as developing housing, purchasing housing, and everything in between. She helped us purchase our new Koreatown property, $3.2 million cash. She took lead on that one. We're excited about bringing her on board and really utilizing her expertise in this field. So, Gabriella, welcome.
Thank you, Franco. What a warm introduction. I'm excited to talk with you all and kind of think about all the ways that we came to this table today and what we're looking for in the next 5 years plus.
Awesome. So let's start with, who is Gabriella?
Yeah, so I'm a native, Los Angeles, Angelino, born and raised. I actually grew up over in Los Feliz, Silver Lake area, and still today I'm over there. And it's quite surprising because, as you know, that area has completely changed from what it was, a creative hub for so many artists and, you know, Hollywood production sites, etc. And today, most of that culture and community has been just shut out and gentrified, and you know all of that has come to fruition, which is unfortunate. But that is where I'm from, and I've been holding true to those grounds. I just to give a little bit more context to my background, I got my real estate license a few years ago, and that was probably the greatest thing I've done in my career thus far. Not to, you know.
Well, I know your resume. But
shy the other things.
Hopefully no politicians are listening. You'll hear about that. Wow. So, you really love the game of real estate.
Yes, I think it's so important. Sometimes we think real estate is just meant to buy or sell homes.
Correct.
But it's so much more than that. We're building infrastructure. We're actually being rooted in the grounds of community through real estate, because that is the infrastructure itself. That is housing people. That is housing businesses. That's creating the different pathways that we exist together in different spaces.
Not to go off subject, but how do you feel when you sell that person or that family their first home ever?
Such an honor.
It must be a great feeling.
That is the greatest feeling ever, because just to think that I could be in those spaces to facilitate a person's biggest dream ever come to reality, and the biggest investment that they're ever going to make. So I never hold numbers so lightly.
Okay, good to go.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, Gabriella, before we really dive deep into real estate with the RightWay Foundation, who are you growing up? Who was Gabriella as a little girl? How was your life experience?
Me as a little girl was very creative. I was a little visionary. Like when I, living with my parents growing up in Los Feliz, you walked into my bedroom and you saw my entire walls in the bedroom covered in paintings and drawings. Like it wasn't just like frames, like it was on the actual walls. One day my parents walked in and they said, "What did you do to your room?" And I have photos of this. One day I'll have to show you.
Yes, definitely.
And I've just always been very expressive in the way that I see things to become. Like I always want to step into a space and make it beautiful. Like forever I was like, I should get into interior design. But I just do it for my own pleasure, interior design in my own homes, and here and there I'll give people, some things. But me as a little girl has always been creative and expressive.
Did you have brothers and sisters?
I had two brothers, older and younger.
Okay. Oh, so you're the middle.
So I'm the middle child and the only girl at that. So definitely interesting dynamic.
Okay. Was your parents, did they stay together raising you?
Yeah, my parents stayed together, and they've been very solid in terms of like my foundation, keeping me rooted.
Good for you. Good for them.
Good for them too, And honestly, my dad, he's a very, very close partner with the real estate stuff that I do. He's been a huge mentor of mine.
Wow. I didn't know that. He does real estate, or he's retired from real estate?
So he's retired from real estate, but he worked on the financial side of real estate, such as lending. And so he worked with a lot of realtors, and he would always tell me, like, no shame to realtors, but they don't really do much. And you could be doing so much more as a realtor to really be a thought partner with your clients, with the community. So he kind of helped me bring that perspective more into light. And then the work prior to real estate, which we'll get into, also brought more of the perspective of how do I show up in this space, being a quote unquote realtor.
Before we start talking about housing for our beautiful babies at RightWay, what makes a good realtor?
Yes, exactly. Perfect segue.
You wasn't working for us. You got our business, and then our board loved you and said, let's hire her. But then what makes a good realtor? I know from why we picked you, but
I'll give you a kind of a long story, if that's okay.
Good. Go ahead.
So my career started in politics. Okay. I worked for the California legislature. I was a legislative aide, soon to become a Democratic caucus consultant. I understood policy in and out. I understood the way it shaped our systems. I understood the different businesses that it took effect onto and communities, at large. And so when I moved from coming from the political space, which is the system space, I moved into philanthropy. Philanthropy was all about impact through funding, through numbers, through value, and how do we become less transactional versus, being a very much so relational type of partner in philanthropy in the space of that. Okay. And so I started to see how money was moved into different communities. And I always asked, why aren't we funding enough infrastructure for communities? Because once you have ownership, you are able to govern your community. You're able to hold power within your communities. And that's really what we're trying to do. Community people that are just every single day doing their normal, say 9 to 5, or just being able just to live within their communities and embracing that part of the life. They need to have a voice at the table.
Correct.
And most people don't have voices at the table because they do not have that level of value. That level of value comes with ownership.
Oh, okay.
So now I'm bringing it back into the system, correct. Right?
Yes.
Because when I was working at the Capitol and I would meet with quote unquote constituents and partners that would come to us and say, we need to amend this bill because this is impacting us. What voices do you think we heard the loudest?
I would say the homeowners.
Not only the homeowners, the business owners, all of that. So people that had real value at the table based on their ownership. Let's just call ownership a blanket, right?
Okay.
And so when I started to think about real estate, that's really when it clicked. I was like, obviously, real estate is ownership. Ownership is power. Once community becomes owners of their community, all of a sudden they hold the power.
Now I'm going real left.
Okay, no, let's do it.
Now what I'm hearing is that apartment renters don't get involved, or they don't have a voice, or they don't use their voice, or miseducated, lazy, or what's the reason why renters don't have the same power as owners?
I think it's coming together, right? Okay. So the power is also in the power of numbers. Okay. So yes, you can be a single landlord and owner and have that power. Or you can be a group of, say, tenants, say 10 of them, and have the equal amount of power together if they came together.
But now, they don't come together.
And this is how, right, exactly. And this is how we're trying to shift minds and hearts and the understanding, having the capacity to understand what it means to come together and hold ownership like that, because you're actually able to move the needle. Because some people, they don't think that they can.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
So it silos them.
Yeah. As a young renter way back in the days, I never got involved with, what do you call them? Neighborhood council.
Right.
And things like that. But that's very important.
Because they don't think this is going to have any impact, right?
Yeah, correct.
But then all of a sudden, you start to see, like, for instance, I have been facilitating an acquisition for a group of tenants that came together to create a cooperative housing structure in Silver Lake.
Wow.
And these are 4 units in an apartment building. And they've all agreed together, we're going to be one voice, one body, and we're going to move this needle. And sure enough, they are. And they're purchasing the building, planning to purchase the building. So cross your fingers for that. But that's community power.
Well, I know this interview went into real estate, but we have a lot more to share with you guys. I'm your host. You're going to have to tune in again to hear part 2 with Gabriella, because we have to talk about homelessness and what she has done for the RightWay Foundation and what's her vision. And please, folks, remember, this is our holiday giving season. Campaign is live. Your donation will directly impact our youth. We'll get our babies off the street for 2026. Please tune in next week where you hear part 2 of Gabriella in our real estate journey. On behalf of all the youth we serve in the foster care system, I want to say peace and God bless.